Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. There are two visions which ultimately result as a spiritual attainment. The first vision is all-inclusive, and the second vision is all-exclusive. So when we think or talk in the language of devotion, in that it is said, look at the world as the God, the Creator, is looking at His own creation. See? So how the God looks at His own creation? Like the mother looks at her children. And therefore, for the mother, there is no effort of accepting the child as it is. Because the love between the mother and the child is not an act of loving. Like a boy and a girl, they love each other, their love is a verb. And in case of the relation between the mother and the child, love is not a verb, it is a noun. And therefore, the love between the child and the mother happens, it is there, but in case of any other, there is a struggle. In the struggle, they say, I have fallen in love. So a boy falls in love with the girl falls in love with the boy, and together they fall for good. So they have fallen rather than rising in the love. But when we see the love which is, in that love which is, there is no form. It is always rising. So these are the two visions scriptures give us. Now, what are these two visions? Let us understand. From the devotion point of view, the Lord looks upon His creation as His own extension. See? And whenever anything is accepted as one's own creation, one's own acceptance, so one is present in that. Example I'll give you. I go to so many houses for food, it is one of my professional requirement. So when we go, 2-3 people also bring food. And then one particular lady will say again and again, Swamiji, do you like this bindi ki sabji? Once, so I neglect. Again after 2-3 weeks come again, shall I give you some sabji? Then you come to know this sabji is created by that Amma. See, because it is my creation. So whether you like it or not, I like it. See? Therefore, this is all-inclusive vision. Now, from the knowledge or Vedanta point of view, other than I, nothing else is. See? Other than I, nothing else is. All that can be excluded from the I, we are ready to discard. But I is neither am, nor can it be rejected, nor there is any need. So these two visions are spoken of in this Atmopanishad. So when we are living as a Bahyatma, the gross body, then our life is only a struggle, competition, achievement, failure. Then the second level we come, we start living as Antaratma, the soul or the Jiva. Then our life is no more limited between the womb and the tomb. But we think beyond this small canvas and we have some better vision. How the vision is better? See, those who are living only as the body, for them whatever is in this world, that alone is the truth, and forget about everything. Loot, plunder and enjoy. They are this type. Then when one grows and comes to the level of the jiva, then we are told, if you do something bad, you will be punished hereafter. If you do something good, you will go to heaven. See, many years before, I was somewhere going on a scooter for some work. And that work was very funny kind of thing which I had to do. So when I was going, I went to that one town in UP and met one person. I said, hey, is there anybody who is a Satsangi type of person? Oh, that Gupta ji, you can go. In his place, all the Mahatmas come. So I went there. And I told him, I said, this is the purpose I have come. And I am told that you are a Mahatma here, a good person, dharmic person. So you may help me, therefore I have come. Okay, come first food, let us have food. I was very happy. And when we were going, he cautioned me. He said, when we are going to take food, be prepared for all insults and abuses. I said, okay, no problem. You have already given me idea. When we were going in his house, first floor, ground floor, he has a big shop and all that. First floor we were climbing. And that time, the wife said, so today one new beggar you have brought. So he looked at me and winked. Called him and just. And then we went, washed our hands and sat for taking food. And when the food was being given, then the son came. You have money for wasting on these people, but you don't want to give me a car. So the father said, let me finish food, I will talk to you. He was very cool. Because every day, so how far you can react? So after food was over, then he said, my son, come here. You are my son, this is the only qualification you have. As a result, you will get this house, my business, but you will not get 1 rupee which I have earned. This money which I have earned, I want to spend the way I want. And I believe that when I spend my money on charity, on good cause, feeding the Mahatmas, etc., that becomes a great accumulation of merit for me. And when I die in the heavens, this alone will come with me. Not you or your mother or this money. Therefore, I being a businessman, I invest it. See, now his vision is beyond the womb and the tomb. Because he has not himself accepted only as the Bahyatma, the gross body, but he accepted himself to be the Antaratma, the soul, who continues to exist beyond this present body. See the change in the vision, change in the approach, change in the interaction with the world. So when somebody has accepted this, he will again think twice. If I am doing harm to somebody, I will have to suffer. See, one person asked me this question. How do you know my son? I am so fed up with him. He is such a terrible monster. I don't know why God has to give me such a son. And he is spending money, doesn't earn and bullies everyone. What should I do? I don't know. I said, look here. In the last life you have taken lot of money from this jiva, which you have not returned. So the same fellow has come as your son, and he is recovering with the interest. Do you know what can I do? Now behave properly. Otherwise, in the next life, you will be tortured more than this. See, friends, if we do not accept our life beyond the body, there is no logic which can suggest us that we should be good. Whatever I do, if it ends here, who cares? Loot, plunder, kill. See? Rudam krutva dhrutam vivek. Borrow the money and declare bankruptcy for 7 years. and again loot the world and call that we are belonging to the prosperous nation. See, friends. Therefore, the second Atma, Antaratma, expands our region of existence. All are not satisfied with this. They enter the third stage. In the third stage, they want to know. When we talk about the soul or the Jiva, who is this soul? What is the meaning of Jiva? Is Jiva an entity? Is Jiva an individuality? What is this Jiva we talk about? See, friends. And then we start inquiring. If I am not the body, then I am told I am the Jiva, and those who blindly follow this, they will get lost only in dharma, karma, etc. But those who have inquiring faculty, they inquire. What is the meaning of the Jiva? And when they start inquiring what is the meaning of the Jiva, then they come to know that Brahma Bhavam Prapaddesha Yati Navartate Puna Sadatmakatva Vijnana Dagdha Avidyadi Vashpanaha. When he inquires, through this inquiry, study, Shravan Manan Nididhyasanam and the Dharma Megha Samadhi, all his wrong notions are burnt away for good, and as a result of this, he comes to discover that I am not in the body, but the body is in me. I am not in the mind is in me. When this vision we develop, every experience is meditation. Every experience reveals the reality. One day in somebody's house, I was standing before the mirror and doing my brush. So that boy of the house came. How many what are you doing? I said, I am seeing my every tooth whether it is properly brushed or not. Then the mother came. Don't ask stupid questions to Swami. He is brushing, what is there to ask? I said, look here. You keep your picture next to the mirror and your reflection in the mirror. Now look at it and tell me what you have learned. We never think like this. I said, please remember, Vedanta sadhana is learning from our every experience. Then I said, let us see what comes out of this experiment. When we are standing in front of the mirror, we see our reflection. When there is a picture of ours, there is no need of the mirror. So the mirror demands a specific condition. The mirror should be there, our presence should be in front of the mirror, our eyes should be open, then we can see the reflection. It is something like the waking experience. In waking experience, the object is required, the sense organs are required, the mind is required behind the sense organs, then only the experience happens. But in case of the dream, it is something like your own picture. You have just put, you look at your own picture. It is just an impression. There is no mirror required. There is no way required. Yet our impression is there on the paper. And both of them, the reflection in the mirror and our photo, are seen by us who is other than both of them. Exactly the same way. Waking experience comes for the waker and goes away. Then the dream experience comes for the dreamer and goes away. And both of them are illumined by one common denominator, which was playing the role of a maker sometimes and playing the role of a dreamer sometimes, and yet is beyond the maker and the dreamer. This is what is Paramatma. So when I said like this thing, Swamiji, it is becoming heavy, let us have coffee. See friends, Nayamatma balahine nalabhya. This is not for Tom, Dick and Harry, Tabla beti dum dharaka. It's not for that. Therefore, here the teacher says, Amushya Brahma Bhutatva, Brahmanaha Kutudbhavaha. Now he who has come to discover this, that this eternal presence, which is illuminating all the experience of Jagra, Sapna, Sushupti, Samadhi, all experiences. And friends, all these experiences happen. It's not that they don't happen. See, like when we are seeing at the sun, morning, evening time, there is an experience of sunrise and sunset. Because something is experienced, that does not mean it is real. There is no sunset and there is no sunrise. Because we see the road running in the opposite direction, when the car is moving, we do experience that. Does it mean because we experience it is real? And this experience is valid only under n number of conditions. If the road was running in the opposite direction and if you stop the car, where the speed of the road has gone. So it was merely an appearance that was being experienced. So when the appearance is experienced, and if we give the status of this appearance and the reality, samsara is born. See friends, therefore, Amushya Brahma Bhutatvat Brahmanaha Kudodbhavaha. Now he who is thus established in this unchanging, infinite, conscious, blissful self, for him, where is the birth? So Jiva, last life, this life, next life, Papa, Punya, Dharma, Adharma, hell, heaven, everything is erased. No place. Brahmanaha Kutudbhavaha. Then the question comes. But in our scriptures we talk about bondage and liberation. There are four Purushartha, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Dharma, Artha, Kama, they are meant for the samsari. Moksha is the real Purushartha. Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. We should do good to others. When we start doing good to others, we want others to behave according to our definition of goodness. See? I receive now and then so many SMS. Swamiji, you should buy this particular medicine, take it 3 times a day. SMS. Somebody, I don't know who said, I received half a dozen calls in one day. Swamiji, how are you? I said, why suddenly? No, I got a message that you met with an accident. I said, I am sorry to disappoint you. I am okay. See? No, but you should take care and you should take this medicine, that medicine, all kinds of things. See? So, when we talk about this bandha, moksha, for whom? Goodness for whom? Here the teacher says, Maya klupto bandha moksha. Bondage and liberation. This falls in the purview of Maya. Now again I am repeating this Maya nth time. Maya means experience limited by the conditionings is called as Maya. For example, vision is conditioned by the eyes. And our eyes can see a particular spectrum of light waves. Beyond that, our eyes cannot see. And therefore, be very attentive. If we say, whatever I see, that only I believe, and what I don't see, I don't believe, we are under the influence of Maya. See, friends, take this correctly. One youngster said to me, he said, Swamiji, I don't believe in God. So I called him, I said, come near. Then I told him, I also don't believe in God. You also don't believe in God? I said, no. So all his air got punctured. The simplest way to disagree with anybody is to agree immediately. The topic ends. See? So you don't believe in God? I said, no. But then how come you are Swami? I said, when you are good for nothing, you become Swami. Questions have no end. Any question they ask. Swamiji, why do you go to beard? So I tell them, why you shave? For the same reason. So you find out the reason. Why do you put on the wooden sandal? Why don't you put on? I don't have. I have. All these questions have no meaning, no value. So this Maya is this useless inquiry. Because we are so much conditioned, so much influenced by the limitations of this conditioning. Therefore, unless I see God, I don't believe. I said, Maharaj, when you see God, you don't have to believe. Belief is required in the area of ignorance. When you know, you don't have to believe. See? Therefore, Maya is that experience which is a conditioned experience because of the n number of conditions. Now, if this is clear, now let us go next step. Waking experience is possible only when we are identified with the gross body. If we are not identified with the gross body, waking experience is not possible. And therefore, waking experience, what we think is so real, is the effect of Maya. See, nobody dreams the dream as a dream. During the dream, it is a solid reality. See, if you can imagine, while dreaming, you know it is a dream. That experience is called as Jivan Mukti. The wise man is living in this world as it is a dream. See, friends. And therefore, for him, there are no enemies, no friends, no achievement, no failure. Like the achievement and failure in the dream is meaningless for a person who is awake. He who is awakened to his own essential self, for him, this world, achievement, failures, friends, enemies, apna paraya, mai arumora torataya maya, this all disappears. Therefore, maya klupto bandha moksha. We only imagine. See? The other day, one lady came to talk to me somewhere else. In Delhi. Swamiji, I think you don't like me. I said, think. You have got freedom to think. But really you don't like me, you don't think about me. I said, if I had to think, I'll think about God. Why will I think about you? No, but I feel that you don't like. I said, it is your feeling. Bandha moksho maya kruptavu. We only imagine somebody loves us. We only imagine somebody hates us. See, friends, this message I got from my Swamiji many years before, in late 60s or early 70s. This has changed my vision to a great extent. When I wrote a letter, I went for some lectures. And it was my first interaction, first time. And when you go, first time you don't know anything and you think you know everything. Maya Glupto Bandha Moksha. And then I wrote a letter that this is what thing is, and therefore I did not like you, I got some kind of disrespect for you, and I am suffering inside. So I don't know what should I do. So I got a reply. I am happy you are progressing spiritually. In due time, you will come to know we project on the world. The world is neither good nor bad. Friends, normally the difference between the wise and the otherwise man is this. Wise man perceives and stops. The otherwise man perceives and projects. And that projection is taken as real. Therefore, Bandha Moksho Maya Klupta. Maya is nothing but perception through the mind. Therefore, Bandha Moksho Maya Kluptau Nastaha Swatmani Vastuni. But in our essential self, there is neither bondage nor liberation. See, friends, when man gets married, he becomes husband. Then, husband is happy or unhappy. Man was neither happy nor unhappy. So the misery or the good experience is for the husband, not for the man. Similarly, the father is happy or unhappy. The man is neither happy nor unhappy. Now who is a husband, who is a father? Husband is a conditioned expression of the free man through the prism of the wife. See, friends. Therefore, Bandha Moksho Maya Kluptau Nastaha Swatmani Vastuni. See, friends, it is here Ashtavakra Gita was born. When Janak Raja, this question, nobody could answer. Ashtavakra the answer. See? His problem was that the beggar that I was in the dream and the king that I am now, who is real? In the same manner, the waker, me, or the dreamer, me, who is real? Go further. The father, me, or the son, me, who is real? Then we come to know all these are only images superimposed on the man, the supreme reality. Therefore, Maya Kluptau is only in the area of Maya alone. Bandha Moksha, bondage and liberation, is only our own projection. See, we have studied Amrut Bindu Upanishad here last time. There is one verse we have seen, one mantra, where it is said, Mana eva manusyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho bandhaya vishaya saktam muktaye nirvishayam smrutam. Our own mind is the cause of bondage and liberation. When the mind is extrovert and running in the worldly objects, it leads to the bondage. And when the same mind is introvert and searches its own source, the same mind becomes the cause of liberation. And what is liberation? Liberation is coming to a point to recognize that there was never a bondage. This is liberation. See, friends, therefore, nastaha svatmani vastutaha. In our essential self that we are, there is no bondage and therefore there is no liberation. Example is given. Yatha rajjo nishkriyayam sarpa bhasa vinirgamam avrutehe sadasattvabhyam vaktavye bandha mokshane. Example is given. When yatha rajjo nishkriyayam, when on the sea, Vedanta, I told you last time, is incomplete without snake and the rope. You may not have Brahman, you may not have Maya, you may not have Jiva Jagadishwara, doesn't matter, you have to have the snake and the rope. And the snake is for the disciples to get beaten and the rope is for the Guru to hang himself. And thus both of them are liberated. So, yatha rajyo nishkriyayam sarpa bhasa vinirgamo. When the snake is inquired, how come the snake has come in this place and it has beaten me? And how come the snake is still alive after biting me? This is the inquiry. So we go with the torch. We go with the torch not to see the rope. Please understand this point. We don't go to see the rope. Our inquiry is about the snake. And when the inquiry is about the illusion, illusion disappears and the substratum alone remains. See? Inquire about who is miserable. I is miserable. Who is this I? Of course, husband. Now find out the substratum of husband. Then we come to know the substratum of husband is man. So what is the husband? Husband is like a snake on the rope. What is the snake on the rope? He appears but he is neither poisonous nor existent in the same manner. There is nothing like husband. It is an illusion. Like one boy was asking his father. Father was, doing gardening and he was playing. Dad, I want to become an intelligent husband. Please tell me how to do it. So the dad brushed him away and doing his work. Again, once, twice, thrice. Finally, he caught hold of the hose pipe. Dad, you have to tell me how to become an intelligent husband because I don't want to listen. Like mom calls you all the time dumb. Then the father said, there is nothing like intelligent husband in this world. Do you know that? Those who are intelligent, they never become husband. Say intelligent husband. It is an illusion. In the same manner, once you know that you are an intelligent husband, then don't take anything seriously. See? So what is Jivan Mukti? Jivan Mukti is you are husband and yet you are happy. See friends, what more practical example you want? But we normally take Jivan Mukti means we make everything so seriously, Jivan Mukta, when he is moving, he doesn't talk, he doesn't know. That is not the meaning, man. Be cheerful and happy, you have learned everything in Vedanta. See, therefore, yatha rajo nishkriyayam sarva bhasa vinirgamau, when this inert rope, which was mistaken by us as a living snake, when that disappears, then avrute sarasattvabhyam vaktave bandha mokshane. So when the rope was covered by the delusion of the snake, the illusion of the snake appeared. Again I repeat, delusion is in us. Illusion is perceived. So when there is a delusion about what it is, not known properly, but there is something, and then the illusion of the snake is projected. So when this illusion of the snake disappears, then we come to know if the rope is unknown, it is appearing as a snake. If the rope is known, it is not appearing as a snake. In the same manner, when we come to know our essential nature, there is no bondage. When we do not know our essential nature, then we are miserable. See? And when we are miserable, what are the signs of a miserable person? Three things. Those three things are like the necktie knot. What is a necktie knot? When your neck is in the loop of the necktie knot, you get tightened. If you remove the neck, and then try to tighten the knot. You come to know there is no knot. Therefore it is called as a knot. It's terribly naughty. In the same manner, there is avidya kama karma. This is the hridaya granthi. And in this hridaya granthi, we are caught up. Therefore, avrute sarasattvabhyam, when the self is not recognized, we are in bondage. When the self is recognized, I am not using the word, we are free. When the self is recognized, bondage is recognized as an illusion. See, there are only bondage and removal of the bondage. Because even when it was appearing as a snake, it was a rope. So even if when we think we are miserable, we are essentially divine. That's all. We don't have to become divine. Therefore, avrutehe sadasattvabhyam vaktavye bandha mokshane. Then the question is further elaborated. Navrutihi brahmanaha kachit anya bhavat anavrutam astiti pratyayo yascha nastiti vastuni buddhireva gunaveto nato nityasya vastunaha atasto mayaya klupto bandha moksho na chatmani. In these two mantras, the teacher says, there is no possibility of bondage and liberation for the Brahman, the absolute reality, because na avrutihi brahmanaha kachit anya bhava abhavat. In the absolute, there is no other. See? Like, how is this avruti or concealment, how it is like. This example is given by Santa Gyaneshwar in his Amrutanubhav. Very deep example, very subtle example. As the ocean is covered by the waves. First example. Second example. As the water is covered by the ocean. Now reflect on this. So we are seeing the ocean, but we call waves. We are seeing the waters, but we call as the ocean. In the same manner, we are seeing Paramatma, but we call it as the world. Now what is the difference between Paramatma and the world? Paramatma, pure existence, is unconditioned by any name and form. Like gold is not conditioned by any name or any form. You give any name and any form to the gold, gold continues to be gold. But when we go to the jeweler and look at the ornament, we ask him, is there gold in the ornament? Wrong question. The truth is, gold is not in the ornament. Ornament is projected, superimposed, adjusted on the gold. In the same manner, on the absolute reality, the water, the ocean is superimposed. And in that superimposition, we give a status of causation to the ocean, and waves are called as another superimposition, the effect. So from the water standpoint, there is neither cause, the ocean, nor wave, the effect. That which is beyond cause and effect, that is our essential nature. Now find out what is that which is beyond cause and effect. See? Body identification is the cause. Effect is the world, waking experience. Identification with the mental modification is the cause. Dream is the world, effect. Absence of these two is the cause. Deep sleep is the effect. But there is one factor which is beyond cause and effect. And therefore, na amriti brahmanaha kachit anya bhavat anavratam. Because there is nothing other than this absolute. See friends, get this point, it's a very subtle point. Like space is covered by north, east, west, south. How the space is covered? When we are suffering from a disease called as Feng Shui. Who wrote me one SMS today? I love you. This sentence was discovered in which country? So the student said, in China. In China, I love you. Yes. How come? It is fragile. It doesn't last. It starts in the morning, ends in the evening. So it is manufactured in China. Chinese books are like this. Once I was in Delhi, one of my friends, he had a Chinese wife, very sweet. And it so happened that unfortunately she died. And he was so disgusted. Every time, Swamiji, I don't know, I'm missing or something. Once, twice, thrice, I said, I must shake him up. I said, hey man, look here. After all, she was a Chinese one. You can't trust. It breaks very quickly. So she died. If you want a longer wife, get married to Indian, she will kill you. Therefore, Anya Abhavat, when there is none other than me, who can cover whom? See, friends, that is why one of the spiritual practices live with yourself few minutes every day. Try. During that time, remain as nobody. This absolute I is covered by layers and layers of somebodies. I as a body, man, woman, young, old, one layer. Second layer, I as a father. Third layer, I as a husband. Fourth layer, I as a son. Fifth layer, I as a father-in-law. Sixth layer, I as a son-in-law. And under so many layers, the reality is covered. And therefore, what will be the sadhana? Start removing layer by layer, one by one, one by one. And you come to a point wherein you can no more reject anything because there is nothing and there is nobody. All the spiritual practice is this. Remain as nobody, remain as nobody. You become anybody, misery is guaranteed. But then how we will live in this world? Go to Bengaluru and learn how to do natak, Karnataka. Bengaluru is the state capital of Karnataka. There all the people are doing only natak, nobody works. When you start doing natak, you appear to be busy, but you do nothing. Like, we are all doing the same thing. We come here every evening, very sincerely, don't disturb. I want to go for satsang. That is what they say. That when you go to satsang, there is peace. But where it is, they don't mention. When you all have come here, there is peace at your home. Oh, that is the meaning. See, friends. So, na avrati brahmana kachit anya bhavat anavratam. When there is none other, that is all. See, friends. Now, what simpler could be the spiritual practice? And to remain as nobody. You know what is required to be done? Nothing is required to be done, but everything has to be undone. See, today when I went to the doctor for my eye checkup, so he was putting, this thing, this is better, that is better. So I told him, undo. Now what he has done, undo, remove that. In the same manner. All our spiritual practice is not doing something, undoing all what we have been doing and not becoming somebody, but unbecoming whatever we have become till date. But normally what happens? We become spiritual. Earlier I was a bhogi, now I is a yogi. Earlier I was eating non-vegetarian, now I compete with the cattle. Earlier I used to get up 10 o'clock, now I don't sleep at night and sleep the whole day. Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasya. So the I is maintained. In fact, losing all our speciality status. Just give it a chance. Only recognize this. How much burden we are carrying on our mind. And all the burden is on so many buddies. See? And as you start removing the burden one by one, and you come to a status of nobody, sleep begins. So when we are nobody and not sleeping, then we are Jivan. See friends. Therefore, Anya Abhavat, there is none other than this one absolute reality, because Brahman is Ananta, is infinite, and there are no two infinities. Infinity 1 plus infinity 2 is equal to 2 infinities? No, there is only one. And one is what? One without a second. Ekameva dvitiya, neha nanasti kincha. Therefore, astiti pratyayo yascha nastiti vastuni buddhi eva gudam etau. Then the question comes, is and is not. This experience is possible only when knowledge is gathered through the limitations of thoughts. See, for example, I keep this hanky in my hand and I ask you, what is in my hand? So your knowledge, your mind is conditioned. There is a handkerchief. Then I remove it. Now there is no handkerchief. So anything which is cognized through the medium of thoughts has optional understanding. Something is not. Waking and the dream experience is always in the form of something is. And what is the deep sleep experience? Nothing is. So what was earlier recognized as is in the waking and the dream, when these two things are absent, then the deep sleep experience comes. And therefore, Jagra, Sapna, Sushupti, Samadhi, these are only mental experiences. It has nothing to do with the pure conscious self that we are. See, last time I told you, Buddhi Pradhan, intellect prominent is the experience of the waking. Mind prominent experience is of the dream. Ahankar prominent is the experience of the deep sleep. And Chitta prominent is the experience of the Samadhi. So Manabuddhi, Chitta, Ahankar, they are the one which are manifesting in a major way in these four experiences. Many times they use the word, the waking state of consciousness. Consciousness does not have any state. Get this point. These are the stages of the Antakaran Chatushtaya, the four of them. Consciousness is ever present. Whether it is Jagrat, Sapna, Sushupti, Samadhi, it makes no difference to the conscious reality. Therefore, Asti and Nasti, something is and something is not. This falls in the purview of mind. Now just as we can talk about somebody, he is very conspicuous by his absence. So we recognize a person not only by the presence but also by the absence. Don't we go sometimes to somebody's house and something has changed? Yes, something is missing from here. What is that? No, there was a big pot with a nice bonsai which was kept over. Now that is removed. Oh. So that object is recognized by its absence, because presence was recognized also by the mind. Now, when we come to recognize our own presence, do we recognize our presence through the mind? Do we recognize our presence through the sense organs? Do we recognize our presence through the intellect as a concept? In one of the universities in US, when my lecture was over, the professor of philosophy, he said, Swami, you have presented the concepts very well. I said, sir, I am sorry, I did not talk about concept. You are a professor is a concept. You are is not a concept. Concepts are liable to change. That which changes is a concept. And therefore, this reality which is beyond the scope of the mind cannot be spoken of as is and is not. Then, buddhi eva gunau etau. So this falls in the purview of the intellectual perception. Therefore, friends, wise people never live at the intellect level. They go beyond. And that experience, which is beyond the limitations of cause and effect, that experience is called technically as prajna, or in English we can translate loosely as the intuitive understanding. Intuitive understanding does not fall in the scope of cause and effect. Intuitive understanding is beyond the cause and effect. See? Therefore, buddhe reto gunau natu nityasya vastunaha. Therefore, there is no possibility of bondage and liberation for this absolute self that we are. It is only at the level of the intellect. We only imagine we are miserable. We only imagine we are happy. Neither we are miserable nor we are happy. In Panchadashi, one story comes. There was some troubleshooter fellow. He told somebody, I have got the news that your son met with a terrible accident. The father naturally will become miserable. And then immediately, but nobody told me, I saw him start crying. At least ring him, find out. So he plans his son. And the son lifts the phone and bangs, Dad, how many times I told you it is night here? The father is happy. He is still alive to scold me. When he got the news that he met with an accident, he was miserable. Was that accident ever happened? Only a news, enough to make him miserable. Second example given in Panchadashi. Something bad has happened, we don't know. And we are enjoying the food. Thodi chutney le aana, cut ke. You don't know. Next room, somebody close to you is already dead and you don't know. You are enjoying spirituality. Therefore, when something is included in the mind, then only it has an option of is and is not. And therefore, friend, bondage and liberation, but the moksha, these are only mental projections. See, friends. See how this bondage and moksha works. I told you a number of times. I wrote many books. One among them is autobiography of a Gujarati. Every Gujarati is born in Navsari. I don't know why. And after he is born in Navsari, then he is never happy there. He wants to go to Ahmedabad. He goes to Ahmedabad. There also he is not happy. Then he wants to get liberation from Ahmedabad and he comes to Mumbai. A Gujarati never comes to Bombay. He comes to Mumbai Samachar. Mumbai he comes. And after he comes to Mumbai, he is not happy here because in bondage, liberation. So he goes to America. There also he is in bondage. How to live without a green card? So he works hard and gets a green card. And after he gets green card, again he is not happy, he is in bondage. I want to become the citizen. And then he becomes the citizen. And by then, he is 65 plus. Then he comes to realize, now sari achhi. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnamudachyate. So who is in bondage and who is in liberation? It is our own projection. In India, there is no scope. And in America, there is a scope. You can clean the toilets, you can wash the garden. There is scope, Many opportunities are there, Opportune country. This is all our mental projection, friends. If we have discovered bliss here and now, then alone it is true. There and then, it is an illusion. See, there and then, these are the projections of the mind. When there and then disappear, there is neither time nor space. This, which is beyond the time and space, is beyond the limitations of bondage and freedom. Therefore, buddhe reto gunaun natu nityasya vastunaha. This is how the intellectuals are more miserable. Because everything they are talking in terms of logic, reason, logic, reason. Life is neither logic nor reason. Life is love. And where love is, there is no reason. Where reason is, there is no love. It may be reasonable love. See, friends. Therefore, one child asked me one question. Swamiji, if God wants to punish us, how he punishes us? I said, hey, God doesn't punish anybody. No, suppose he wants to punish. How does he punish us? I said, have you eaten on our chowpati this dahi vada? He said, yes, Swamiji, how do you know I like it? I said, from your face I can. I said, tell me how dahi vada is prepared. He said, in a dirty looking, clean, dona, they put the vada and on that they put dahi and then they sprinkle the black pepper, red pepper, green pepper, yellow pepper and then little bit of salt and if it is less, that dressing above. And then it is given. Exactly the same way God punishes human beings. How? The dona container is our cranium. He opens. And in that he gives the dahi vada, our brain. If you don't agree with me that our brain looks like dahi vada, open yourself and see. Or else accept. And in that dahi vada, he sprinkles not black pepper, green, yellow pepper, red pepper. He sprinkles intellect and then closes. Thereafter, that person is intelligently miserable throughout life. This is how God punishes. Therefore, those who think, they can't laugh. And those who laugh, they never think. All the time, जाने कहाँ गए वो दिन जब हम छोटे थे. Who cares? See? Start living in this understanding. There is neither bondage nor liberation. Atastat mayaya klupto bandha moksho na chatmani. Therefore, bondage and liberation is our own imagination. There is neither bondage nor liberation. Oh God, why didn't you tell us on the first day? We have been coming every day with all kinds of jhatkas and after having come here, kuch nahi. Is nothing. Have you seen Kung Fu Panda? Those who have not seen, they have wasted their life. See, in that Kung Fu Panda, if you see, when he becomes the, Grand Master, and then he has to go and take that particular role, and he gets the role, and when he opens, there is nothing. And with that frustration, he comes to his father, another bird, and the father gives the secret. My dear son, the secret of our noodles, I tell you, nothing. There is no secret. Because when there is no bondage, how there can be liberation? See, friends, one day, this happened in USA. Now that boy is in class 10. When he was small, he was playing with some, toys, some dolls. And when he was playing, and he had this notion that the eye of the doll he has swallowed. And he became so miserable, angry, frustrated. It has not happened, but he is not ready to accept. I feel it has gone inside, now I am going to die. I said, look here, crying doesn't help. You eat banana. Then what will happen? I said, that eye which has gone inside, it will get embedded in the banana. And when you go in the morning for the toilet, we will collect all your, treasure, and you will see it there. And then I told his mother, I said, take out the other eye. From that thing, And in the morning, when he sat, and now get up, see, it is there. Oh, thank God it has come out. Yadrushi Shitala Mata Tadrushi Tasya Vahanam. Shitala Mata's Vahan, the carrier is the donkey. One person went to Shitala Mata and prayed. Shitala Mata appeared. Yes, my dear devotee, ask what you want. He said, sir, I want, madam, I want a horse which will always be first in the race. Because now race season is coming, I want such a horse. Shitala Mata got very angry and gave him one. Why did you beat me? If I could give you a horse, why will I ride a donkey? You are making fun of me. Friends, these are all our mental projections. We are neither bound nor there is a need of liberation. Remain happy. That's all. I am not telling you, become happy. Remain happy means you are already happy. You are not miserable. Miserable भी नहीं होने देते. नारायण. निष्कले निष्क्रिये शांते निरवद्ये निरंजने अद्वितीये परे तत्वे व्योमवत् कल्पना कुतः. In this absolute, partless, unactive, peaceful, immaculate, uncontaminated, non-dual, absolute reality, where is thing called as the space? One person went to a Mahatma and he said, Maharajji, we have heard in many Upanishads, many theories of creation. For example, and he started quoting Taittiriya Upanishad. Tasmat Atmanaha Akasha Sambhutaha, and the tape recorder started. So the Mahatma said, stop. Let us try to understand step by step. Tasmat Atmanaha Akasha Sambhutaha. What is space? Space is nothing. Means from the Paramatma, nothing ever is created. Why worry? See, friends, in Yoga Vasishta, this type of story comes. The Aya is telling the stories to those princes. Because I said, going to sleep, I want to hear the story. Every day we hear from the story. She said, okay, sit down, now lie down, I'll tell you the story. And the story begins. There were 3 princes like you. And the 2 were not born and 1 was born dead. Then what happened? They went for a nice ride. You know in what? They went in a chariot made out of the flowers which come in the sky. Akasha Pushpa. That way they are not. And then when they are going, they came across many forests full of fruits. And then they crossed and they came across a town. And when they came across a town, in that town there was nobody living and all were dead. And then they crossed the 3 rivers. And 2 rivers were dry and 1 river had no water. And by the time the children go to sleep, story over. Exactly the same way. Purva Janma Paap, and therefore we are born here, you know. Whatever is the last thought at the time of departure from the body, according to that, you will get the next life. And so again I am born. But I love my dog a lot, you know. Without dog I can't think anything else. Suppose at the time of death, I remember what will happen to my dog. Oh. Then, next life, wow. Friends, these are stories. Don't get carried away by them. Come to recognize, therefore, Vyomavad Kalpana Kuta, where is creation? The ultimate in Vedanta Shastra, which is bodily lifted by Gaudapadacharya and kept in his Mandukya Karika first chapter. Na nirodho na cha utpatti, na baddho na cha sadhakaha, na mumukshur navai muktaha, ittesha paramarthata. Like you know, in today's world, the other day I was in Varanasi and one person told me, Swamiji, I can get you a doctorate in Vedanta philosophy from BHU. I said, I don't want. No, but I can get you not very expensive. I said, then I was interested. So how much will take? We take depending upon what is the size of the thesis you want. Suppose you want 500 pages, 50,000 rupees. Suppose you want 200 pages, 20,000 rupees. I say, what do you do? We have everything ready. The topic, the guide, the signature, the external examiner, everything is standardized. We simply click, everything happens. And thereafter, how do you collect the material? You don't know anything, Swamiji. We Google. You know, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Everything. In the same manner, if you see many compositions, those Mahatmas also have done the same thing. Google, na nirodho na utpatti, copy, paste. Gaudapada Karika is created. Bhagavan Krishna. Copy from Kathopanishad. न जायते म्रियते वा विपश्चित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. पेस्ट चैप्टर 2. न निरोधो न च उत्पत्ति. Nothing is ever created, nor anything is ever destroyed. Can we say that the waves are created and waves are destroyed? See? Can we say when the bulb becomes fused, the light is destroyed? Can we say when the hall breaks, the hall space is destroyed? According to physics, matter is never destroyed and energy is never created. Purusha Prakriti. Energy can be transformed. See? In the same manner, na nirodho na utpatti. Now apply this principle. Do we have the experience of our birth? Utpatti? No. Na nirodha. Do we have the experience of our absence and death? No. And yet, we don't accept this truth. And then run from here to there. Kurude Ganga Sagara Gavanam Vrata Paripalanam Athava Danam. And I have done so much of charity, but nothing is happening. Those people are eating the money. Why did you do? See? Therefore, na nirodho na cha utpatti, then na baddho na cha sadhakaha. Nobody is bound. Khali pili. I think I am miserable thing. See, this story I read, I was so thrilled. Two children were playing home, and the brother is the husband and sister is the wife, and the husband asked, "Give me something to eat," and the wife scolds. The moment you enter the house, you want to eat. Go and wash your face first. Look how horrible it looks. Everyday's dialogue which are happening in the house. There is no script writer for the children, those play. And after some time he comes, give something to eat. And then she says, take yesterday's leftover sabji and day before yesterday's puri. So the boy husband is, stop for a moment. You are not giving me anything, only imagining. Why don't you imagine? Take Rasgulla and Rabdi. If we have to imagine, why not we imagine we are happy? That's all. No. I want God realization. What will you do next? I want to be healthy. Okay, you are healthy. What next? Health cannot be the goal of life. Longevity cannot be the goal of life. See, friends, therefore, na baddho na cha sadhakaha. We only go on imagining, I am very unlucky. I am very good country. Na sadhakaha. Similarly, I want to be spiritual. And therefore, the moment such people who become spiritual, they start behaving very funny. They don't live normal life. I don't go to the hotel. Then I get the food from the hotel at home. To whom are you cheating? Friends really cheat themselves. We don't cheat anybody in this world. We deceive ourselves the most. See? Because I became a sadhaka, I am a spiritual seeker. How can I go to the movie theater? Then on my laptop I want to movie. Damn 99. See? So, na sadhaka, na mumukshu. Nobody really wants liberation. Why? Because nobody is bound. If bondage is an illusion, how the liberation can be real? Na mumukshu and na muktaha. And to be very frank, nobody is liberated till date. So why unnecessarily go where nobody has reached? Do you know why? Because in liberation, nobody remains. Somebody disappear. We are all liberated in deep sleep. Because in deep sleep, there is only Mr. Nobody. See? Nobody is happy. I am nobody. Therefore, I am happy. Therefore, na muktaha ittesha paramarthata. This is the ultimate truth. Therefore, let us not unnecessarily become miserable. I don't know why I am so unlucky. This happened, nothing has happened, nothing is going to happen. Be happy, be happy, be happy. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.